So I'm Marlo, and as you can see, I'm like this short white girl from the Midwest, actually. So you're probably thinking, what the heck am I going to tell you about hip hop? So there's actually a little secret I'm going to share with you guys, and that's that I'm really a thug. See me? Yeah, that's me up there, a little blurry. But I actually beat up the guy on the right. And it was on stage, but it kind of counts. But really, it's a lot more about trying to just find the correlation between the hip hop that I do and the startup world that I'm now in. And it's more about finding an analogy that helps me connect the two and really think and improve upon what I'm doing between the two of them. So by the end of this presentation, I'm hoping you guys can find some analogies in your life, but let's break it down and I'll tell you mine. It starts with a beat. So there's that dunk, 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 and it just gets you going. You're so excited, and all the dancers are just using that energy of the beat to move themselves and to also really stay grounded. So for me, that's all about the mission of a startup. You've got this mission. You're all trying to accomplish the same goal, and it's really that goal that leads all those people. It gives them that beat, and it's fast, and you all got to keep up, because if not, you'll get left behind. Second is the choreography. So this is a choreographer I've worked with, and he's amazing. But the choreography, by showing those movements and those poses you're trying to strike, they're giving you some direction, some impression you want to leave with the audience. It's really similar to what a leader does within that organization. So we have leaders that, they tell you this is how you should consider moving, this is the impression we want to make, but then it's up to each employee to decide how to interpret that guidance. My favorite part, freestyling. It's, where that one dancer strikes out, with the spotlight's on them, and they move and they get into it. For me, that's all the go-getters of an organization. They're the ones who take the risks. The leadership has given them some guidance, but then there's they're going to push the company further than anyone ever expected, because they chose to take those risks and really stand out in the spotlight. They put themselves out there. Now, granted, then there are the formations. I've actually never danced in the checkered and the yellow. But for the formations, you've got triangles, you've got circles, and it's all about moving around each other to create this complex visual experience for the audience. And for me, that's a lot about user experience. So all of your employees are moving around each other, and hopefully they won't bump into each other too much, because ideally you want a consistent feel for your customers, so that they're really getting that constant flow from your organization. And then there are the costumes. What I love about this is that in hip hop and in startup world, a lot of people roll up in their pajamas and just their thug gear. It doesn't really matter what you wear, but the costumes really embody a brand, and a lot of people in dance are wearing maybe a similar color or a similar shoe style, and that really helps create just a slight bit of unity with different pockets of fun experience. Now, finally, there's practice. Now, dancers I know listen to their music on the bus. They figure out that thing in the kitchen, that move that they're struggling with, but they really embody the music at all times and are really thinking about what could make the most amazing performance. It's kind of like living a startup life. When I'm in the shower, I'm trying to think, what's that really cool angle that we could think about, or something that will make this communication so much more worthwhile to that end customer. And then there's the performance. It's that time where you want everything to go well. You really hope that the music goes on cue and the lighting effects are great, and that it all goes off without a hitch. It reminds me a lot of a launch, and you really hope that something goes well. Sometimes one dancer's arm is out of place. I don't know if you guys noticed, there was a spelling error earlier here. Something always happens, but it's typically not going to impact the entirety of the launch, and hopefully it all goes smoothly and people are left with a great impression. So for me, thinking about the hip-hop dance that I do really helps me not get stuck in the details of whatever I'm doing. I remind myself to pull back, think about the beat, think about the choreography, and think about how that impacts my day-to-day life. So my question back to you would be, what's something that you can take from one part of your life and apply to another? And will that help you think more creatively, more artistically about that? So if you don't have that analogy off the top of your head, feel free to steal mine. I think it's kind of fun. You can always get out there and try a beginning hip-hop class. But overall, I hope I encourage you guys to get back to the studio, get a little bit more creative, and freestyle on your own. Thank you.